Humping goats. Yeah, there we go. How you doing? Nice to see you. All right. I got my lights on. I got my streaming on. We're streaming. Here we go. We're live. Good to be here with everybody today. Thursday, lots to get to, and I mean a ton to get to. We got World Cup to talk about. We got the Leafs of Mitch Marner to talk about. We've got the imposter syndrome out in Alberta to talk about. We've got some racism, light racism to get to. We got heavy racism to get to. We've got Theo Fleury to get to. We've got lots of stuff, including, yes, we will finally get to the Butt Doctor story today. My name is Dean. Please welcome to the program with me, my very good friends from the Lens Report, Ryan Lindley, at Ryan Lindley on Twitter. You can download his Lens Report everywhere, and the morning show host at 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton.
Thank you, sir.
You can listen to him every weekday morning, 957cruisefm.ca. Mr. Lochlin Cross, follow him on Twitter at Lochlin Cross. Nice to see you. Not
interesting
to start
note.
The podcast today, by the way.
Interesting note about you let me plug the Metallica show yesterday.
100%.
Somebody from Ontario won tickets.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that. We are powerful and influential across the country.
We're going to get that show syndicated is what we're going to do.
You will probably make you rich just by existing. That's probably what will happen at this point.
Just by being friends with us.
Yeah, congratulations.
I knew it was a good move on my part.
Yeah, it was. Good to get in there. Anyway, good to see everybody. I want to cover Canada's World Cup appearance. They lost today 2-1 to Morocco. Morocco won the group, which is fascinating because Belgium's in the group. They were ranked number 2. Canada put up a fight against them. Morocco lost to Belgium. Belgium lost to Morocco. Belgium lost to Morocco. They win the group stage. Croatia goes on as well. Canada loses 2-1. Did you guys watch it today? A bunch of punters and losers out there screaming about how Canada deserved better and all that stuff. I thought it was fucking brilliant. First time in 36 years we're at the World Cup. They served notice today playing a hell of a game. They played a couple of great games, half of another game. What do we think? Canada's first World Cup appearance. Anybody watch it today? Were you off it?
That first goal was unfortunate.
Yeah,
because it was a mistake, right, from the goaltenders. You hate to see that.
Poor Borjan.
Yeah. I'd like to see if it was, if they won. If you win or lose, I'd rather see a win on like goals that
count, merit.
Yeah, they all count, but that one was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Right. And because I really like the character of that goalie.
Yeah. Borjan. He overdoes it sometimes, but I believe he's also Croatian, if I'm not mistaken. Croatian or Lithuanian. I'm not too sure. From
Yugoslavian.
Is he Yugoslavian? My bad. I apologize.
Formerly Yugoslavian.
Formerly Yugoslavia.
I think his family is from Europe.
Serbia.
And they did come to Canada.
Yeah.
Serbian. Okay.
Yeah. Serbian. Yep.
Okay. We were all right.
Yeah, that's why that tilt with their Croatians in Game 2 was so important, right? Because Borjan was like a Serbian immigrant to Canada, and Serbia and Croatia. Don't know if you guys know this. Not awesome friends.
No, not the best of buddies.
Yeah, so that had some high intensity to it, and they lost 4-1, and that was probably a shit eater for him. But you're right, that goal that he let in to start the game today, not great. But I loved seeing. What's that?
Croatian game 2 between the fans and him.
And Borjan, yeah. People were screaming at him, and he was telling them to fuck off, and yeah. Listen, I don't want to get into the Croatian-Serbian skirmish from the last.
We're solving enough
years.
problems here.
Yeah, I want to talk about how good Canada was in their very first World Cup experience in like 36 years. They had one superstar. They had a couple of guys that play in the top 5 leagues. Other than that, it was just guys from kind of all over the place, right? Like you had no depth, no nothing. They showed a ton of fight, ton of hustle. Gave the team that won their group stage a hell of a fucking fight today. I'm excited because you know what's happening in 2026, right?
4 years.
4 years. Canada, U.S., Mexico, World Cup, all the way. It's the first time it's ever been held in 3 separate countries, but North America gets the World Cup. And I think 10 games in Canada, 10 games in Mexico, and the rest of it in the United States, including the quarters, semis, and all that other stuff. So got 4 years to make it happen, but I loved it, man. Like, I'm not a soccer guy, and I was in. I was all in. The whole country was in. I thought it was fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I won't lie. I didn't pay attention today, and I'm guilty of once they're out of contention, it was like, okay, I'm still excited.
One of those guys.
I kind of
until they suck.
Not until they suck. It was just a matter of like, where's this going to go, right? So it was like, It wasn't as exciting as it was last weekend, but
No.
I'm definitely way more interested in soccer than I have ever been in my entire 42 years on this planet.
Well, and not so embarrassed to be a Canadian guy who's cheering for a soccer team, right? Like before, it was like they were playing at high schools a couple years ago. Like they were playing in high schools for like 7 people. Everybody's like, no one gives a shit about it anymore. But seeing the entire country actually care finally,
Mhm.
you know, I thought that was really cool because it's been an embarrassing program in Canada for I don't know how long, right? Like no one gave a fuck about soccer forever. You needed, immigrants and refugees and people from all over the world to come here over the past 20 years to even make that whole thing possible. So thank you.
Well, I also
Alphonso Davies, if it wasn't for him, coming out of nowhere, being a superstar, like he and Jonathan David, they just arrived at the doorstep of Canada soccer. It's not like they farmed these guys. So just by coincidence, they got into the World Cup because we've got legitimate soccer players in this country that had to fight for an opportunity to play. And that's what I was real proud about. The internationality on the team, I thought it was fucking phenomenal too. That was awesome.
We had that conversation with Stax last time he was on about how the problem in Canada was soccer, and it was always the branding. It was just it's not a branded thing here. We don't brand it like we brand football and baseball and now I think with these guys, I think that's a chance that people are going to corporations are going to start taking a better look at it, going, hey, maybe we should get behind this.
No, they're all.
Oh yeah, you had BMO. BMO was doing the stuff with Davies, and so I'm excited for that aspect of it because I think they deserve it. It's a team that deserves the attention, and that's what we're doing for.
I think we're also at a turning point for the game, for guys like me, right? Like you kind of piqued a lot of interest from guys that were like, I'm not watching.
Me too. Yeah.
You know, I think that's where this is interesting to me because I talk to a lot of people that I'm still wildly annoyed by the game. The whole thing where it doesn't end when it ends, and it ends when somebody decides how it ends. And
injury time, 4 minutes maybe.
Hate that. And they gotta stop the flopping. That when you
fall,
I
want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I don't love it like Lynn's. Although every time it happens, I'm like, okay, let's watch this fucking guy do it. Let's watch it. This is fucking embarrassing. You know what it is?
Embarrassing.
Well, I'll tell you why. In Canada, right? We've spent the last, 70 years watching televised Saturday night games of guys getting legs broken, getting their faces ripped open, getting their arms busted, getting their noses rearranged, losing 12 teeth in a fucking slap shot from the point. And
having
we're
a
used
skate
to
go
seeing
over
those
an
guys,
artery.
Yeah, we're used to seeing those guys go off the ice, rub some dirt on it, get a bunch of zippers in their face, and come back for the second and the third period, right?
Yes.
So to us, that's currency. When we watch that in soccer, we're like, you fucking pussies. But I didn't see Canada engage in any of that. Like you see it by host nation, right? Italians are the worst at it. And then you've got it like France. Oh my God. Don't even get me fucking started on France.
There was a bit in it on the Canadian side. There was just a sampling of it, but not like
come on.
Not like Belgium.
I mean, Canada held their own. Like they played soccer like they were Canadian hockey players.
We saw one I loved about today. I forget. I think it was against. It was. I can't remember. Anyway, I can't remember if it was a highlight from another game or if it was the actual game. I don't know enough about the game, but the guy was flopping around like a fish. Like.
Yeah, and then he got up and took the penalty kick and started celebrating and crying with his friends, and then went back, doubled back, to play a little defense like nothing just happened.
I love
Those
it.
are my favorite guys. That's Tim Stützle. That's who that is. That's the Tim Stützle of the World Cup. Anyway,
I find it hard to watch. Yeah. I find it's
soccer in general or just guys?
Well, when somebody is faking it so badly that it's obvious. It's just like, come on.
It's like the Hallmark movie thing all over again, guys. It's just it's the drama. It's the bad acting. It's fucking that's entertainment.
Yeah, it's great. Look at me. I'm the victim. Everybody stare at me. I'm on the World Cup stage. I'm going to lie around. No, I haven't had the ball for like 20 minutes. I haven't figured into any play. I'm going to some guy's going to go by me. I'm going to fall down, and my family's going to see me writhing around on the ground. But at least they'll see me at the World Cup. That's
it's the freedom convoy of sports.
I did see a couple guys out there. Speaking of that, there was one. I was watching the game on Sunday, and I don't know any of their names, but I did notice there was like a couple of guys that just never touched the ball. And I was reminded of my hockey career, like the last 5 years where I would play an entire game.
I'm free. Pass over here. Wide open. Wide open pass.
Entire game and not touch the puck.
Persona non grata.
Why am I even out here?
Is that what you would scream more than anything when you played hockey as a kid? Pass.
I'm open.
Out front.
Open pass. Jeez. Pass.
Yeah, I think my last year before I broke my tailbone, I played like 6-7 games, and I think I touched the puck 3 times. So it was okay for me to walk away from the game.
Attaboy. Yeah, good for you.
He sure is opinionated about hockey, though.
Yeah, he really is, and it's funny. It leads us to our first subject of the day. The Toronto Maple Leafs, ladies and gentlemen, are on quite the heater. 8-0-2 in their last 10. They're having a fucking world-beating November. They're going into December with a fucking stop. The win again last night. They're 2 goaltenders, Ilya Samsonov and Matt Murray, are playing at a Vezina pace together because we got rid of that guy Jack Campbell last, and now he's having emotional issues in your hometown.
Last time I checked, Jack Campbell's a goaltender.
Give him a hug. Did we give him that hug he's looking for?
So Mitch Marner ties last night an 5,000-year-old Leaf record, basically. Yeah. I don't know how long. It's like 30, 40 years, maybe longer. For consecutive games with a point, 18. Scored an empty netter late in the third to ice the game against San Jose last night. They win 3-1, 15-5-5. Thank you very much. In our DMs today,
first thing this
Lochlin
morning.
Cross. I'm going to bring it up because I wrote a fucking story about it, dude. You're a whole post today. You're an entire post.
Am I part of a blog?
Yeah, you are. This is what Lochlin says. Can we talk about how annoying it is watching the center of the universe cover the Leafs right now? Fuck my life. Marner breaks some minor Leaf record, and you guys are reporting on it like he won the fucking Super Bowl. I say, LOL, you're just pissed off Jack Campbell blows and your team's around 500. He's like, it's hard watching the 2 best players on the planet play hockey all the time. And I say, that's tough. Fine. You started this with your, some dumb record, stupid Leafs. There's a fucking 12-alarm blaze down at Rexall Place. Who pays $250 a ticket to see the 2 best players in the league lose all the time? You didn't respond to that. But what happened last night was special for Leaf fans, dude. And there you were going, fuck the Leafs. Dude, Mitch Marner, diminutive winner for the Toronto Maple Leafs, a Toronto boy, tied a legendary diminutive record for consecutive games with a point at 18. By the way, the record, anybody know what the record is? Anybody here?
No.
Anybody? No? Anybody know who owns the record? Anybody? The record all-time NHL. Anybody?
Is it Gretzky?
Let's guess Gretzky.
Gretzky, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. He's got
what is it?
5 of the top 6. 51.
Oh.
That's what I was laughing about. You guys freak out about this shit on your end. Like, I was surprised that you actually even started the old soccer game on TSN. Are you sure you don't want to have another panel on Marner's success last night? Not only that, he popped 18 on an empty fucking net. And they spent the entire third period trying to feed the dick. Like, honestly, I'm like, you guys need to stop. Like, it was a 7-minute report on Marner's record. And then they did like a 1-minute update on the Oilers game. And went, oh, by the way, it's the 2 best players in the NHL had a couple more points last night. Oh, let's go back to Marner. Let's go back to a streeter about Marner and where he buys his underwear. You guys are such losers in Toronto. I swear.
It's talking heads. It's, you know what it is. It's donkeys. And what do? They got to fill time. Something like that is great for content for people like that. They can.
Every time I looked up this morning, I saw the Marner highlights. I'm like, just
like every 5 minutes
already.
Can I give you an analogy that'll make sense to you? And then we can just give him his bouquets. We can give him his just desserts because it is a fucking cool event.
If he
it's
wasn't
cool
such
for
an
him,
annoying little shit,
he's not, dude. He's not annoying. How is he annoying? What has he ever said that makes him annoying? What has he ever said that's annoying? There's the empty netter. Here he goes, greases up the middle, pots it in. They win 3-1. Bob's your uncle. Helen's your fucking aunt. By the way, he's happy. Team's happy. The entire Scotiabank Center happy for him because he's loved.
Matthew's
he's a Toronto kid.
happy.
He's got more stress on his back than any other player in that locker room because his dad, from the age of 0, was telling him that this is the only thing you have to do. Yeah. And if you don't do it, I'm going to fucking disown you. And he carries the weight of the fucking world on his shoulder, this guy. This is him, by the way. This is him in the dressing room after. This is him coming in. He's loved. His fucking teammates love him. Watch this. It's everybody coming in. Everybody's having a good time. Give them the shower. Yeah, there we go, kids. That's fun. That's team building. That's a team that's 15-5-5 with 2 really good goaltenders, not 13-10 and who gives a fuck with Jack Campbell, who's sucking his thumb in the corner of the fucking Rexall place in the
poor Jack.
Yeah,
poor Jack. I feel bad for old Campbell. Soup.
It was a nice night. That's my point. You got to allow people to enjoy it instead of taking a big dump.
I wouldn't have a problem with it if you didn't treat it like it was the greatest accomplishment.
I don't.
In the history of
sport. It's a neat accomplishment. It's not the greatest. You
don't. But your broadcasters in Toronto.
They're not my broadcasters. They're all a bunch of doofuses. I get it. But dude, you wake up in the morning with the first thought in your head. Most people wake up and it's like, great to be awake. I look outside, the sunshine, the snow's falling. Life is good. I got a podcast with my friends. We're going to go do some business today. We're going to make some money, have some fun, make some laughs, smoke a joint before I go to bed, and then have a fucking 9-hour sleep. That's how most people wake up. Yeah. You wake up in Alberta. You wake up going, fucking Eastern Canada, fucking Leafs, fucking Mitch Marner, fuck the world, fuck Trudeau. That's how you guys wake up.
It's all the shit he learned yesterday about the politics in Alberta. That's why he woke up with a burr in his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not learn anything yesterday. Take that back.
You didn't?
And I hope you're listening, mate.
Have you guys briefly? Have you guys seen? Speaking of hockey, have you seen the interview that disgraced former NHLer Theo Fleury did with Tucker Carlson last night?
Oh, yeah, but if you listen to Tucker, you would think that he was Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
The way he intros him in this interview. It's hilarious.
No, he's garbage.
You know, it is so sad because Theo actually was a great hockey player.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was. Good. He was a great hockey player.
No, great hockey players in the Hall of Fame. Good hockey players are not.
He was a great hockey player. No, he was. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah, I can.
He was in the Hall of Fame? Show. No, and I don't know if he will. Because you need votes.
Not now.
Well, you need to be great. You can't be good. You got to be great. He was a good. He was a really good hockey player.
He was
not great. His career was too short because he couldn't stop doing all running around and acting like an asshole. And Bob's your uncle, and he was really good.
Been caused by a coach or two.
Yeah, don't care. He still had his thing. Now he's off the fucking he's lost his
off
mind.
The rails, and it's so hard to watch.
Let me set the table for this. Tucker Carlson last night goes all in on the NHL, deciding that they wanted to be more diverse as they continue to progress as a league. I don't know if you guys know this. Almost everybody in the NHL is white. Whitest league in the world, the most entitled league in the world. If you couldn't afford $50,000 for travel hockey a year, your kid is not in the NHL by and large. The kids that make it there are very wealthy, very white. It is I don't know if it's an issue as much as it is just the way it's always been. And hockey is very difficult to get into and the very high barrier to entry. And so you've got a lot of rich white people that think that this is the currency of their realm. And that is generally what hockey is. You have a bunch of guys from different backgrounds that have fought their way through to make it to the NHL. But more importantly, that's not the case. That's the exception to the rule. Well, Gary Bettman wants to be more diverse. He wants to increase diversity. He wants to see more people of color in the game as the game continues to progress.
I think it's not just Gary Bettman. I think a lot of people would like to see that, right?
Yeah, well, everybody would. But I'm saying that this is from a Gary Bettman press conference. Tucker Carlson, just so you know, did an entire segment. We're going to listen to part of it. He has Theo Fleury on it too. Did an entire segment not about what Gary Bettman actually said. And what he said was, I would like it to include more people of color from more diverse backgrounds to be more representative as we go through. Tucker Carlson presents this as he wants less white people in the NHL. That's exactly how he fucking presented it. He wants less white people in the NHL. And the frustrating part is that that's not what Gary Bettman said at all. Like, he fucking totally lied. Let's watch this together, and then we'll break down what he said, and we'll get to Theo's part in just a second. But here's the actual clip itself.
It's a little weird, or maybe it's not weird at all, that the NHL has decided to push woke propaganda on its fans. And boy, is it. Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, and league vice president Kim Davis now say they want fewer white people playing hockey.
Punch him.
Looking at the hockey landscape in 5 years, what does progress look like to both of you? Commissioner Bettman.
To me, progress looks like that we become more reflective of the communities in which our teams play, that there are more black players of both sexes.
Oh, see? Did you hear that? Just want more people, more black players, both sexes, more people to come in, wanted to make it more accessible.
I wish he would have said indigenous.
But hold it. Hang on. Listen to what Tucker Carlson said, how he totally misrepresented what Gary Bettman said after he misrepresented what he said. Because Tucker's like, Gary Bettman wants to take white people out of the NHL effectively. Listen to this.
It's a little weird, or maybe it's not weird at all, that the NHL has decided to push woke propaganda on its fans. And boy, is it. Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, and league vice president Kim Davis now say they want fewer white people playing hockey.
Looking at the hockey landscape in 5 years, what does progress look like to both of you? Commissioner Bettman.
To me, progress looks like that we become more reflective of the communities in which our teams play, that there are more black players of both sexes.
There you go. Highly inclusive, both genders, people of color, black players, doesn't matter where you're from. Yeah. If we're in that NHL city, we want to represent the people and the cultures of the people in that city, and we want hockey to be more accessible, right? Mm-hmm. But Tucker Carlson said, no, that's not the case. It's an attack on white people. Then he invites Ubercock.
He's such an idiot.
Oh, totally. Then he invites Ubercock and resident hood wearer himself, Theo Fleury, on to discuss it, blows him up and lies about his hockey pedigree, and then Theo jumps in with both feet and basically says, the NHL won't be fun if we become more diverse. Watch this.
So Theo Fleury is a hockey legend in Canada and the United States. He played in the league for a very long time.
Let's have a look at that mock turtleneck he's wearing with his all beige suit. Very Metro, you piece of shit.
Long time, most of his life. He joins us tonight. Theo, thanks so much for coming on. What do you make of this? I mean, were race politics a big part of hockey when you were playing?
He doesn't answer the question.
No, God, no. I think the reason why we all gravitated towards hockey was, first and foremost, it was fun. And then secondly, there was no politics involved. We played this sport because we absolutely loved it. For me personally, it was an escape from what was going on in my home life at that time. And, I fell head over heels in love with the sport. And, I was really good at it, obviously, and pursued, a career.
Did you hear what he said there, Locke? He didn't say he was great at it. He said he was really good.
Yeah.
Case in point. That's why he's not.
Yeah,
he's not great.
I'm not trying to make Theo Fleury something that he wasn't, but he was, for what he brought to the table and what he was
good.
For an undersized player. Yeah, I think he did a lot for the game, and you know what? And he had a tenacity.
He takes that tenacity into anti-science and cult wars.
Obviously, he does. Yeah.
Let's listen to the rest of it.
It is sad to watch. I think there's a lot of people that were bad, like fans of Theo Fleury, that are a little bit thrown by the last couple of years. By him.
Good. They should be.
They should be.
Yeah, they should be. Definitely.
He's a piece of shit. Here's the rest of the clip.
In this amazing game that we play.
So clearly, political forces hijack professional sports as a way to brainwash the young men who watch professional sports. That's, of course, the entire point of it, strategic. But why does nobody push back? Like, no, you're not allowed to do this in professional hockey. It's about hockey. Back off. Why does nobody say that?
Well, I think it's a really, because we're so divided, Tucker, and deep down hockey players are, guys who are compassionate and empathetic, and it's just something that we don't want to get involved in, and it's it's an argument that we can't win, and so the reason why, it doesn't matter to us who plays the sport, whether you're transgender, gay, or whatever. The reason why we play the game and the reason why the game is so amazing and so great is it's for everybody, right? And the reason why we play the game is it's an escape from, what's going on in our lives. And unfortunately, politics has no place in any sport, whether that's football.
Yeah, so here's the thing, is that Theo Fleury is taking the lead. He didn't even answer the question, didn't even understand the question, where he's like, why are they trying to make hockey more inclusive by politicizing race and trying to bring more people in from outside of their culture? And he's like, I don't know, but it should be inclusive. And so it goes
against the point.
He's arguing against the point, but he's agreeing with Tucker because he's on the show, and he wants to tell everybody that, hey, listen, I don't like it when anybody breathes politics into hockey. Well, what the fuck are you doing talking about breathing politics into hockey on Tucker Carlson's fucking right-wing shitfest? I'll tell you what he's doing. The reason why he's there is because he truly, probably in his dark fucking weird mind, is like, no, we shouldn't be having a Black Lives Matter thing. We should just be about the hockey. Well, guess what? We shouldn't be catering to people from different sexual gender backgrounds. We shouldn't be trying to reach out to marginalized communities. It should be about hockey. Well, hockey is not accessible. No. It is not come one, come all. It is an elite sport, and for you to not recognize that, and for you to sit down with a guy who's trying to say white people are being attacked in the largely white arena of the NHL, they want to de-white it. There's Theo, after he says that, willing to have a conversation with the guy about that and agreeing with him, even though he's so stupid he can't even do that right. Like,
can't even hear the question.
Unbelievable.
Didn't answer the question at all.
I think the approach that, and this is why I was so distraught over the Hockey Canada stuff, because I think they've actually done a pretty decent job as a community, as an organization, to get behind and support grassroots hockey and try to get people that it doesn't matter who, get everyone into the game, right? They are desperately trying to get kids to play from different backgrounds, different economic situations, and Hockey Canada has done a decent job. I think that's part of the reason why you saw so much arrogance from that organization, because I truly believe that organization thinks that they've done a good job in certain aspects of moving the sport forward, and they have promoted the game from that level, but it's been a youth thing, and it's going to take time, and they have to bring down the cost of the game, because that's the issue. Because you're right, the reason why the NHL is so white is because it generally becomes a very rich guy's sport, and so it's parents, double income, but they got a good job. Dad bought a company, the kid works for the company, whatever the situation is.
50 grand a year for travel hockey, $2,000 a month for extra lessons, weight training, special diets. Dude, that shit starts when a kid gets scouted at like 14. 13,
what ends up happening though right now, when you have kids and you want kids to get into athletics, if you're not rich, if you don't have the money, quite often you explore alternatives. Like, you're looking at soccer, you're looking at lacrosse, and a lot of kids, regardless of their background, regardless of the color of their skin, are gravitating towards sports that are more affordable based on the financial situation of the parents. And hockey has seen that. And hockey, the governing body behind hockey, has seen that. And they've tried to sell this message about being more diverse. Tucker taking it the direction he has is completely irresponsible, because all hockey's trying to do is say, listen, this is a fun game. Now we need to do more work to get kids into the sport that might not necessarily be going that direction.
That's what Bettman was saying. That's what he said.
Exactly what he wants. Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. That's what the director of inclusivity and resources, I can't remember her last name, Kim Daniels, I think. That's what she was saying. And that's why she was there. She was saying, we want to open this sport up to more people to make it more accessible, to be more representative. And Tucker Carlson, on behalf of white America, racist, go fuck yourself, black people America, was like, they're trying to de-white the NHL. Let's bring in Theo Fleury to see how he feels about it. And Theo's like, do you like my turtleneck?
I was a good hockey player.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. When we grew up,
that's all you got out of that.
Yeah.
And I think there is a much more concerted effort within the grassroots level of hockey to engage in the Indigenous participation in the sport. Because I'll tell you something, when I grew up and I played hockey in the 70s and we were in outdoor rinks and barns all over BC, every team I played on, the best kids were Indigenous. Every team, always. Mm-hmm. And then you get to the NHL, and how many Indigenous players made it into the NHL? That was a fucking problem. And I think the NHL's realized that at some point, those kids don't get the same access that they should have gotten to be successful in the NHL, to be successful past the point of kids hockey. Mm-hmm. Right. And that was sad. That was really, like, I remember thinking, watching when I started to come of age, teenage years, I'm like, this is good. It's going to be full of Indigenous kids because just how good they are. Right. I played up north, up in Smithers, and I played on the traveling team, the A team. And
you bragging now? You trying to
shit, eh? Doing a Theo Fleury on us now.
Gone pro.
Well, are you going full Theo on us?
Tweak really the knee. Good. Tweak the knee. Anyway, and we'd play in these little communities in and around Smithers, and we'd travel. And holy shit, man! Some of the barns up there, it was unbelievable. It was next level hockey, and those kids were like, the Indigenous hockey players were unfucking believable. They were fast, they were strong, and and it was surprising to me that there were so
not entitled. And not entitled, so they worked hard, right?
Yeah, they enjoyed the game. They played the game they loved, and that's the point that Bettman, I think, is trying to make there.
Absolutely.
And Rage Farmer Carlson just comes on anytime somebody in America says inclusivity. That triggers these guys, and who knows?
They take inclusivity as anti-white. That's how they listen to it. I'll play it for you again. This is the beginning of Tucker Carlson's thing, where Gary Bettman says, "Hey, we want to make hockey more inclusive. Who's with us?" And Tucker Carlson's like, "They're de-whiting hockey."
A little weird, or maybe it's not weird at all, that the NHL has decided to push woke propaganda on its fans, and boy, is it. Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, and league vice president Kim Davis now say they want fewer white people playing hockey.
Not what he said at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Can't stand Tucker.
He's making a point of just making it more accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
And white people, entitled white assholes like Tucker Carlson, have a problem with that. That's
I hope he goes home and cries every night about how much of a piece of shit he is.
You know what Tucker Carlson does when he goes home at night? I'll tell you exactly what he does. He goes home and he takes a dildo in the shape of one Adolf Hitler, and he Rogers himself with it in his powder room until he cries. And then he sucks his thumb until he falls asleep. That's what he does. That's how much of a fucking superhuman piece of shit he is. Just a white, raging, fucking, absolute piece of human garbage. There's no other way to describe him. He's a rage alarming. Yeah, he is wrong. Everything he says is wrong.
I'm not. No. It's not wrong for an organization to look at the state of their business and go, whew, we're pretty white. We got 700 players. and they're either European or they're Canadian, milquetoast kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not wrong for them to go, what did we do wrong? Something happened along the way in the development of this game that left large segments of the population. When you watch soccer, right? You see a variety of different backgrounds kicking that ball around, right? And I know Hockey Canada has to be looking at other sports and going, why aren't other kids from other backgrounds getting involved in this sport? What is it?
Because it plays
And
$100.
they're
It
trying to
costs
adjust
$100 to
that.
pay soccer, and
So
it costs tens of thousands to play hockey, right?
Oh, you know what? I'll tell you though, when you get to any level in any sport,
oh yeah,
it becomes,
even soccer does get a little more expensive.
Oh,
absolutely,
it gets fucking crazy. I mean, I watched a little 15-minute piece on Fonzo Davies, who's from Edmonton. So there's a curiosity in town, right? The kid's a worldwide superstar, and he's from here. Man, they had to help that family keep that kid going.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of support from the community, his community, the people that he knew, right? They helped him get where he got because of the money it takes. You have private coaches, you have private training, you have teams, you get into, teams that cost money, jackets, and it's not just hockey. But hockey is that next level above that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a cultural thing, and it always will be. And I think those are great points. And I think, the one that you made about people that want to play the game, the one about being accessible and where we go wrong. 513, I think, in the comment section, was it 513,000 kids play hockey in this country? 700 make it to the NHL. I mean, like, it's pretty intense. It's tough. And the people that make it to the NHL, again, are people that have these entitled lifestyles. Speaking of entitlement as well, I want to kind of pivot because we're on the topic of Tucker Carlson being a huge piece of shit. You know how he's buddies with Kanye West, right? Him and Kanye, nice and tight. Remember when the whole thing with Kanye?
Same
happened?
brain, anyway.
Did Kanye?
Well, if you remember,
did he show up
Carlson,
on Tucker?
Do you remember when he did that the Age of Man thing where he was doing the videos about guys
sunning your
their
asshole
balls and their gooches, and that's what real men do, and then they get together shirtless and work out all the time because that's Tucker Carlson's literal wet dream, just to work out shirtless with a bunch of buff
You think there's
dudes.
something there? You think
totally
Tucker?
Absolutely. I think
might
he takes
be
a walk
compensating.
on the wild side.
Just be yourself, Tucker. Just be yourself.
Anybody that rages against something probably loves that something they rage against. It's just the way it goes.
It's usually how it is. Self-hate.
Yeah, like you probably love the Leafs. It's my same point. You probably are fucking super jealous because you love the Leafs and you've got Toronto envy like the rest of your province. But that's okay. We'll get back to that another day. My point is this.
I really hope the Leafs get into the playoffs and lose in Game 7 in the first round.
That'll be fun too, dude.
We all do.
As long as I get to crack.
That's why I'm being really quiet about the Leafs right now.
So Tucker had Kanye on a couple of months ago, and that's where this whole anti-Semitic shit started. So
it started with Tucker.
Part of that Age of Men thing. And the when Kanye lost all of his sponsorship is an intern for Tucker's show lifted all the anti-Semitic outtakes of it and published them online. Yeah. And that's why he lost his deal with Balenciaga, I think is the name of the company, Adidas. That's why everybody dropped him. That's why he's broken. Now that's why he's going on this I Hate Jewish People world tour. Last night, the tour stopped on the Alex Jones show.
Yes, it did. And I'm
really
speechless, actually. I'm speechless with what I saw with it today. And when you can make Alex Jones flinch, there's a problem. Like what you're saying is really fucking bad.
Yeah, he's lost his mind. Kanye is not only not medicated for bipolar disorder, he's lost his fucking marbles, and he is being forced and hoisted up onto the pedestal by evangelical conservative white America who are like, fucking just keep him going. He's like a battering ram against our hated Jewish friends. Like, keep him going. That's what's happening here. And Kanye is so fucked in the head.
You think so?
Oh, totally, 100%. That's why the establishment is actually fucking embracing him for all of these ridiculous fucking anti-Semitic comments. But watch this. This is like, all anti-Semitism is fucking terrible. But when you go, Hitler was a great guy, Ooh, boy.
Well, that's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love, us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. How about that one?
Looks like Doug Ford's snowmobiling jacket.
Did you guys hear that? Or did you guys
is there a reason
every human being brings something? Because he's fucked in the head, dude. This is his thing.
Crazy.
He's fucked. He walks around like this. Whenever he made a statement a while ago, it was like, whenever I feel bad about myself, I put on a mask and then no one can see me. I'm like, oh, that's just because you're fucking anxious. That's the whole deal there. But he's fucked. We're only halfway through, and it gets better. Hard to say it gets better from Hitler was especially a good guy, but it does.
How you like that one? Hey, Ron, you gonna do anything to fix Chicago? They want to separate and confuse the Christians and make us afraid to stand next to each other. A Christian can stand next to anyone. We can go visit R. Kelly in prison. We can go talk to Harvey Weinstein.
That's what Jesus did.
Yes, because Jesus can save everyone. But if the Zionists can get us so afraid that they're going to do what they've been doing to me, attempting to put me in jail, freeze my accounts, smearing me on the media, all of these things, you put on the whole armor of God and they will not be able to break your spirit.
How we doing? How we doing?
You know what? I've said this before, and this is an important message for anybody that reaches any level of success in life, financially, fame, whatever it is you're looking for. Keep people around you that have the ability to be honest with you. He's desperately in need of somebody that it goes Kanye.
I got to tell you, I don't even know if that would help him. Like I think he is so mentally fucked, like so off the meds,
that is so hard
off
to
the
watch.
program, chemically imbalanced, surrounded by yes men. To your point, but like to get on a show, any show. Not less a guy that just got sued for $2 billion and successfully sued who's going to go broke. Alex Jones, the biggest piece of shit on the planet, with that Nick Fuentes guy sitting next to him. I'd like to take Nick Fuentes into a soundproof room for about 5 minutes. It's all I need. It's all I need is 5 minutes. Same with Alex Jones. 5 minutes in a soundproof room. I can't tell you what I do to him here because I'll get delisted from YouTube. But my point is this, and it's a very, very simple point to make, is that Kanye is being used for his mental illness, for his ability to stay mentally and emotionally unwell. He's being used because he's not medicated by white Christian evangelical hardline racist America to shit on the Jews. That is what's happening now. Kanye goes off and says this thing. Everybody, he loses everything. Now, white America, Christian America gets in touch with them. They're like, come with us because we hate the Jews too. Let's put you on Alex Jones' show. Let's farm you out. Let's send you to dinner with Donald Trump and Nick Fuentes down at Mar-a-Lago. That was last week.
Yeah.
Let's bring you back and do some more racist shit. Help us because we need your shield, your black umbrella to carry around with us. That's really important to us right now.
This can't be seen as beneficial to any movement. I don't care.
No,
like that's why I have a hard time believing that he's some kind of a tool in someone's toolkit for whatever.
Dude,
it just doesn't make any sense.
But hang on, I don't know if you've been watching. It is literally mainstream open season in the United States and parts of Canada to actually. Some people think it's cool to be anti-Semitic now and anti-LGBTQSIA. Where's this tweet from, Linz?
This is from just some guy named God America 1776, and it says everything that you're saying right now. And this is the temperature that side is on, and it's saying the elections were rigged. I stand with Kanye. Hunter Biden's a pedo. Democrats are ruining the country. The media is one-sided. Trump's not a racist. Joe Biden's the worst president in American history. Nancy Pelosi staged January 6th, and Paul Pelosi is gay. Like, all in one tweet. And that's a donator right there. And then Kanye is now the mouthpiece, and they put him out. They turn his volume up, and they let him go. They wind him up, and they throw him out there. Absolutely.
Is this like? Are you guys? You have any basis for that? Like, he's crazy. You can't.
Yeah, I have a basis.
Yes,
for
they're
it.
using his crazy
because every single show he goes on is run by some kind of conservative white fucking douchebag who's part of the fucking dark money legal system down there. Like every single one. Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson,
do you think he made,
Fox
do you
News.
think he made an
fucking
appearance?
course he's being used.
Do you think he made a do you think he made money to make that appearance on InfoWars?
I have no idea. Oh, I listen.
Not even sure.
Or Fox News.
He's lost it all.
I don't
He's
think
got
he
a bunch
needs
of douchebags around him going, "Come with us. We're going to help you because we agree with you." Right? So then he goes on. Why do you think he was on Alex Jones' show, guys?
Well, because I think Alex Jones
cock on the planet.
I think Alex Jones is crazy, and Kanye is famous, and I think Alex Jones. I'm just trying to take the sinister side out of it so that I can sleep better tonight.
I don't think it's the money. I don't think they're even offering him money. I think they realize he's so crazy he'll just say it anyway. They don't need to pay him.
Do you think there's some concerted effort behind the scenes to push his agenda, whatever the hell it is, and to send him out? Like,
yes.
Kanye.
Yeah, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Semitic. Like, dude, those are the two hottest subjects for white racists and dumb hillbillies in the United States and Canada right now. Like calling people
to what end, though?
To what end? Because that's Christian America, dude. It's Christian America. That's the whole goal. It is. Did you hear him go off about Christians and the army of God and the armor of God? Did you hear that part of it? I mean, that's the only tie-in is you've got evangelical America that's got this guy who's a battering ram, a fucking mouthpiece, and an anti-Semite who rails against the same things they secretly and quietly lobby against all the fucking time. But guess what? It's not secret anymore. It's public. And they've latched on to something where it's like, my God, 2022, this feels like 1984. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's move around a little bit and hate the gays and do some gay bashing. And let's move around a little bit and hate on the Jews. Let's get after it. Yeah.
The increase in that, right?
Well, like, they conflate it. Like people they conflate what happens on a private platform like Twitter to real life. So they think the American public's just going to, well, I can just say whatever the fuck I want now. I'm going to go out and tell people I love Hitler and I hate the blacks and I think the Jews ruin everything. And that's what he's doing. And they've got it in their minds. And Elon Musk is now all of a sudden the arbiter of free speech, or he's the only one that can hand it out. But they're all just they're playing that card. They're trying to get advantage out of these crazy people that, hey, if we can get evangelical Christian White House, like if we can run shit, great. Let's take it. Let's just take advantage of these guys right now and what they're already doing to push our message and move it forward. I'm convinced there's American legislators right now looking up here at Danielle Smith going, holy shit, they surpassed us once. They finally got ahead of us on one thing. I bet you they're looking at her with some with a notepad going, how's she doing that? Like, what is she doing here? They're all taking pages out of each other's book to push this agenda of white Christian nationalism.
They hate gay people.
They hate everything.
Jews.
Yep.
So I can wrap my head around the idea that an outside political force is trying to disrupt democracy because they want to weaken it, right? Like, I can understand, like, the Russian bot thing, China's, spying on us. That to me, that's easy. This is too insular for me too. I'm having a hard time with this, that this is strategic on any level. I would like to be able to think that Kanye is crazy and that his beliefs have led him down this weird path, and his lack of medication and his mental illness have led him down, and he continues to be somewhat functional from day to day. And that he's showing up on these shows because the people that he's showing up on and the platforms that he's spewing this shit are open to the idea of having him on because he's so famous. So when you guys say that this was that this is a plan, that this is something that they're doing on purpose, you guys are opening up a huge can of worms here.
Not really. I mean, I don't think we are, and I'll tell you why. Because
I don't think so.
This is all part of the network, and anytime someone sees somebody that's like, hey, that might help us, go grab that guy. It's not like an organized effort, right? It's a guy like Kanye. Everybody wants to be around him. Everybody wants a piece of him. Everybody wants and if that voice is out there, that'll help them add a little bit of a few extra decibels to their hatred. They'll co-opt that voice. They'll go out and say, hey, listen, we love you to be on these shows. We totally believe in what you're talking about. We think you're right. This is free speech, and that's how they kettle it. That's what they say. They say hate speech is free speech. They should be allowed to say those things. They should be allowed to base people from different backgrounds and different colors because it's free speech. That's kind of what Elon does on a daily basis. Free speech. And what he's really saying is a dog whistle for people. It's like, what about allowing people who have hateful views because they're just views too, right? And so what they do is they'll find somebody who's a fire starter, who's a bit of a catalyst, and they'll go, let's bring him into an interview because he'll give us cover because of the color of his skin and the community that he's from. And he'll also add some extra juice to this narrative because Christian America is incredibly well organized, but they don't give a fuck about Kanye. They don't care. They hate black people still too. But they have no values. He's just a useful idiot to them. Absolutely.
Did you hear the rumor about why Kanye demanded a dinner with, take Nick out of it, demanded a dinner with Trump?
No.
He actually, and this is just a rumor, I don't know if there's any substance to this, but apparently he asked Trump to be his running mate in 2024.
Like Trump would ever play second fiddle to anybody.
Apparently Trump lost his mind on him. If it's true, he got really upset.
Yeah, that's funny. It's sad though. The state of things right now. It's very sad. It's very sad to see somebody with such mental health issues as Kanye has being exploited for the furtherance of something that we've done so much work to tamp down and put just try and get rid of and try and it's like somebody just opened that door and just let the barn animals fly again.
I think a lot of this stuff is like we're dealing with the backlash of being like when Obama won the second term, right? I think that group had been suppressed and held back for so long. That group were like, I can't believe there's a black man running the United States.
And Trump saw it.
And I can't say anything about it. So then all of a sudden, here comes Trumpy.
Yeah.
Right.
Birth certificate.
So I think we're in a little bit of that right now. That suppressed side that just
you're talking about the suppressed side. The suppressed side are a bunch of hillbilly dumb fuck racists.
Yes.
They're not the suppressed side. You're saying racist America finally came out and said, enough. I've had enough of the black people. I've had enough of the gays.
Do this.
Had enough of the, let's fucking, I'll throw any support behind anybody that says, fuck black people, fuck the gays, fuck the Jews, correct? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. And when Trump,
I don't know how organized
came to power. Well, it's not that organized, but I'll tell you, the groups, churches, and lobby groups associated with those churches, incredibly fucking organized. Focus on the family, 100 Huntley Street here. And I mean, it is a fucking
pro-life,
kettle joke.
Yeah.
To your point, what did he discuss with Donald Trump? Kanye actually went over it. Here's the video. Oh, let's reload it because it's not loading. He did ask Trump to be his running mate.
Did he? Okay, that's not just a rumor.
It's amazing.
No.
Most perturbed about me asking him to be my vice president. I think that was like lower on the list of things that caught him off guard. It was the fact that I walked in with intelligence. So Trump is really impressed with Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes, unlike so many of the lawyers and so many people that he was left with on his 2020 campaign, he's actually a loyalist. When he didn't know what the lawyers is, you'll still have your lawyer list. And when all the lawyers said, forget it, Trump's done, there were loyalists running up in the White House, right? And my question would be, why, when you had the chance, did you not free the January 6ers? And I came to him as someone who loves Trump, and I said, go and get Corey back. Go and get these people that the media tried to cancel and told you to step away from. He basically gives me this would-be mob-esque kind of story, talking to some kid from the south side of Chicago trying to sound mobby or whatever. He goes into the story about all that he went through to get Alice Johnson out of jail and how he didn't do it for Kim, but he did it for me. But then he goes on to say that Kim is a you could tell her I said that. And I was thinking, like, that's the mother of my children. Since we know, and all the Christians in America that love Trump know that Trump is a conservative, we're going to demand that you hold all policies directly to the Bible. When Trump started basically screaming at me at the table, telling me I was going to lose, I mean, has that ever worked for anyone in history?
You're going to lose. Tell him he's going to lose.
I'm like, well, hold on, Trump. You're talking to Ye.
There you go. That was the substance of the. So he walked in, asked Trump to be his running mate, told him he'd lose, said he sucked, and then he told him his ex-wife, who was the mother of all his kids, was a disgusting piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't catch that they didn't censor it very well, but that's exactly what he called her. That's unbelievable.
Meeting of the minds. I love it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Cray, as they say. Speaking of crazy,
yeah,
we haven't gotten a chance to get to this.
All week.
You guys use toilet paper?
I haven't all week now since I've been waiting for the story. I haven't used it at all.
What do you use? Supposed to, apparently.
Nothing. I've been waiting to hear what I'm supposed to use. It's starting to smell a little funny.
Asshole schmegma.
starting to get a little rank over here. You want to hurry up with this?
Yeah, it's a weird story, and I saw it a few days ago. We've been threatening to talk about it, but I think it's worth talking about because anuses are important. I've got this book coming out called Eat to Shit. And I think you should be very good to your anus because I had a grandmother pass away of bowel cancer years and years ago, and my dad was like, you should eat more brown bread. That's why she died, bud? I was like 6 years old, church pew. I'm like, why did she die? He's like, she did eat brown bread. And I'm like, fuck, what are you talking about? There's brown bread? And he's like, yeah, we're going to start buying it immediately. And I'm like, okay. So I was like a little kid. So I've always been like hyper aware of eating things.
You are a very good eater.
Thank you. Yes.
You are a very good eater.
You're also very aware of your bum.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I'm going to take great care of my rectum and my anus. So that's why the butt doctor was of special importance. It was a new study that came out. And he's a Queensland-based colorectal surgeon, Brad Morris, better known to his Instagram followers as the butt doctor. He says most of the problems he sees with skin around the anus are due to excessive attempts at hygiene.
Excessive attempts of hygiene.
Yeah, very rare. That's me. Very rarely due to inadequate hygiene. It's a very sensitive area. He told a TV host answering one listener's questions about whether it's dangerous to wipe too hard. Yeah, I thought this was like one of those radio segments where someone's like, send me any question. He's like, is it dangerous to wipe too hard? But he actually had the butt doctor answer. He's like, I don't understand why we use, this is incredible. I don't understand why we use toilet paper to wipe. If you imagine soiling your face or something else, where you wouldn't smear it off with toilet paper. So I think we need to readdress culturally what we do. Maybe look at bidets. Maybe look at using water to wash. That excess wiping can traumatize the skin, Dr. Morris explained. If you do find yourself spending a long time wiping, there might be a reason for it. And he added that the goal for shitting, listen to me carefully, shitting is important, is the ghost poop. He said the ghost poop means you're incredibly healthy. What is the ghost poop? Great question. That's where you take a dump and you go back there with the toilet paper. You do the once through and you have a look at it. And guess what? It's clean as a whistle. That means your bung piece is operating at an optimal level. And how you do that? Very simple. You drink a lot of water. You eat a lot of roughage. You should be just fine. Don't believe me? Believe the fucking butt doctor. He did a whole video on it. Let's watch it together.
Using toilet paper doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing it? We don't do this with any other body part, particularly when it's dirty. We don't shower with a dry towel. We don't clean our dishes with a paper towel. We don't wash the car with newspaper. The anus thrives on neglect. As soon as people have...
Boys,
yeah,
just food for thought, okay?
Thrives on neglect.
There you go. The anus thrives on neglect. Let's watch the rest.
As people have a problem down there, whether it be itch or irritation or some discomfort related to hemorrhoids, they think it's an issue with hygiene. They spend more and more time trying to get it clean. They do this with more and more wiping, with more and more vigor, being more and more meticulous, and it becomes an increasing obsession. When that happens, the skin starts to becoming damaged, and the normal protective barriers of the skin to irritating factors are lost. So the skin becomes more prone to irritation. It gets more itchy, it gets more irritated, it gets more broken down, and you get stuck in this cycle. The problems that I see are almost always related to too much hygiene. If there's a problem that's causing soiling or fragmented stools or making it difficult to clean, or the Sharpie poo where every time you wipe it's like wiping a felt tip pen, those are things we can address. And it might be hemorrhoids, it might be a rectocele, it might be obstructed defecation or a prolapse. We can fix those factors, but almost everyone with those problems needs to, at the same time, treat their anus with respect.
Can you put
respect your anus?
Guys, treat your anus with respect.
The anus thrives on neglect.
Treat your anus with respect. That's a t-shirt.
Do me a favor, put the article back up again.
Yeah, for sure. This is from DeanBlundell.com, by the way. You can read the whole thing.
Yeah.
What do you need to see here?
Well, should we trust a guy that's getting somebody to shit on his face?
He's not getting people to shit on his face.
Well, he's talking about soiling his face.
No.
Like this is that's weird.
Your reading comprehension is fantastic.
That's your takeaway.
Why is he getting, like, is his wife pooing on him? I want to know.
No.
I want
this
more.
part here where he's like, and I quote, if you imagine soiling your face or something else, you wouldn't smear it off. Well, first of all, he's wrong.
He's getting someone to poo on you.
He's not referring to shit. He's referring to, like, let's say you soil, meaning you get something, anything on your face. You don't just wipe it off with toilet paper. He's wrong. I do. However, same thing with your nose. If you soil your nose, it's not shit. But what he's saying is that the more intense you are about hygiene, the more, which is fucking odd because I'm so intense about hygiene that the more intense the more you break down the natural barriers.
Are you an aggressive wiper?
I can't get out of there until until I get the all clear from
100%
from the toilet paper. I cannot get out of there. Now here's the thing, is that I've been practicing excellent anal hygiene for a very long time. I respect the anus, okay? Because I've known this, the anus thrives on neglect. Always has, always will. Again, that's a t-shirt. And so I'm I do two things. I do one pass with extra soft Charmin. Next pass is with Cottonelle lotion wipes, biodegradable. And then it's a dab. You got a one swipe Cottonelle. And I do the Cottonelle until I get the invisible paper. And after I get the invisible Cottonelle, I'm like, I'm clean. I'm clear. I'm good. I got aloe on that thing. Everything feels incredibly fresh and fast. I can run faster.
I don't like the wipes. I don't like.
Well, then you're missing out.
Feeling like
I always got
just had a bidet.
You always got to have the dry portion after.
Yeah,
there always has to be a drying
That's
portion
the
after.
dab.
Are you a bidet fan?
Cottonelle dab. Done. Yes, I love to. I had one in Vegas.
A bidet in my life.
Oh, never.
It's a dream come true.
Total game changer, Locke.
Absolutely.
I swear to God. Especially if you get one with the little heater, the little blow dryer, and all that. It's quite possibly the best.
Do you have
experience.
one in your house?
No, and I would put one in tomorrow if I could find a cheap one, and I would definitely.
Apparently, they're on Amazon. They're like $100, and you hook them up, and boom, Bob's your
really.
uncle.
Yeah, they're incredible. They're incredible, dude. I had one at my old house. I don't have one here. And it changed my life. I remember my ex-girlfriend was like, we're getting a bidet in the bathroom. I'm like, all right, because we were redoing the house. And I'm like, yeah, sure, get a bidet. And she's like, it'll change your life. I'm like, whatever, it's for girls. Yeah, it's for girls, for all that stuff in the undercarriage, not for me, not for my bunghole. So one fine Sunday afternoon, I grease one.
No TP.
And I'm like, I'm going to give that fucking thing a go. I'm going to give that lady fountain a go. And so I moved my backside right over it. Like you just move like 2 feet over the bidet. Yeah. And I situate myself and I turn on the warm water and this little sprinkle comes up and my gooch gets it. The underside of my bag gets it. And then of course you get it. You're moving around. Oh, there it is. And it goes right in the thing. And all of a sudden it's like it. No, it's like having a personal washer down there. Go, I'll get it. Don't worry. It's nice and warm. Everything's fine. It's like the warm water talks to your anus.
It's like the tongue of an angel.
Yeah, it's like the tongue of a bathroom angel licking your asshole clean. And then you get up and you're like, you don't. And so here's the thing: I go toilet paper, but a lot of people just go straight to a towel, like a dry towel or a face cloth.
It's clean enough at that point, so you can,
And I was like that for 3 years, dude. I didn't use if I was home, I would make sure that I would wait. If someone else was in the bathroom with a bidet, I would wait so I could use
for that bathroom.
It changed my wiping life. Fact.
Interesting, because I've never had one, but I've told the story about the handheld shower nozzle now, and that's been a daily. You
guys gave away a bidet a day in May last year on the locker room, and you guys didn't get one.
No.
Crazy.
No. They bought 40 of them. No, there was 30. We gave away 30 of the damn things every day. We gave one away. And apparently the ones we gave away were pretty decent. Like they're not high-end ones. They're not like
they attach to your seat or whatever, right?
What Blundell's talking about is like a whole separate unit and
it looks like a toilet with a wider base.
Yeah, it looks like a big weird water fountain.
It does.
I honestly, I might get one because there are days I honestly, I need to do yard work down there to clean up.
That's it. There's a problem in the back 40. I need some equipment.
I need a weed whacker just to get to the anus.
Yeah. There are days that it does feel like
it's usually after a heavy drinking night. I find those are those days you need them.
Yeah. That was always the most refreshing poop I've ever taken in my life, and I haven't. That's the only thing I miss about hangovers is that booze
is the dump
the next day. It's because all the toxins are making their way out and they've all settled down there because you've drank so much booze your liver can't handle it, so it's in your brain and it's in your colon, and you're like, how do I get rid of some of this? And so when you take that first
I don't like those poos because
it's psychologically comforting to know that it's leaving.
Yeah, it's leaving me.
You know why?
I drink rye, so I get the worst.
Yeah. See, when I drink hard booze, I get those cramping poos where it feels like you got to keep pooing and you don't want to get up. Right? Like that's my issue with the hangover. Never had that. Really?
It's always the cramp before. Once you get that cramp before, that's like the radar is on. It's like it's like your warning, your countdown timer.
There's another clip that I heard from the butt doctor, this Australian guy. And when we talked about this on the locker room earlier this week, I brought that up because I've said this out loud multiple times. I know too many people that plan picnics in the damn bathroom. What are you doing in there? Like it's not a good idea to sit there and shit for 20 minutes.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, it
is.
No. He said you should be getting your business done when you go in. Like as soon as you sit down, you should be getting it done. You should be getting out of there in minutes.
Why?
It is true.
What's the metric?
Well, I'll tell you. And I didn't get this from the butt doctor, but this is my understanding of it.
It's a hemorrhoid.
I think there's
pure conjecture.
There's so many people out there that don't like to poo in certain situations, be it a work thing or whatever. So they force a poo before they have to go do something so that they don't have to shit at work or at the mother-in-law's or whatever. So they're not actually waiting for nature to call. When I have to take a shit, I go take a shit. It's never one of those things where, oh, maybe I'll take a shit now. I'm always, somebody's knocking. And so I let nature do its business. And I think that's what he's talking about. The individuals that are forcing it or trying to shit when their body isn't ready to shit are spending multiple minutes in a bathroom, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I see. I'm fortunate, right? Because since the age of 6, when my dad was like, "Your family's dying because they don't eat brown bread," I was like, "I got to eat brown bread and brown things all the time."
That's like a core memory trauma.
And so I don't have any issues. Drink a ton of water, and it's a lot of fun. And when I have to go, I go to the bathroom. But
are you sitting in there for 10, 15, 20 minutes?
If I can, yes, absolutely. Especially if there's people in the house.
But are you sitting there going,
problem? Yeah, there's
there's
a problem with like.
No, but I never. No, but
like
that happens in the first like 3 minutes. The next 12 are me playing golf.
That's different. That's different.
Marvel Snap, or reading, or emailing, and not dealing with the people in my living room or wherever I am. That's what you're talking about. Is someone straining for 15 minutes? Never happened in my fucking life.
Don't do it.
You have a big house. You can find other places to hide, Blundell. Stop it.
No, you can't. I got a lot of kids. I got 1,000 kids.
That is true. There's kids on every floor of that house.
They're everywhere. Yeah,
everywhere. I get that needing
kids,
time, but don't be forcing a poo, right?
No, of course not. That's the worst
I've
thing
always
you can
been
do.
very fortunate. I can Grant thinks there's something wrong with me that I can poo anywhere. Like
no,
I can poo
it's
at
a
someone's
sign of
radio
excellent
thing.
health. I'll tell you this, gentlemen. You want 2 signs that you're in pretty good health? Boners, pooping.
And shit. Yeah, it's true.
Fact. I'm no doctor.
Very true.
But every doctor you talk to will be like, listen, start asking questions if you're feeling like shit all the time, can't sleep, can't eat, can't shit, and don't get boners. Those are like the biggest things. If those things start happening to you, go straight to the doctor. You're welcome, by the way, Dr. Dean with Dr. Locke, as we give you guys some wellness advice today. Very rudimentary.
Pooing and boners.
Yeah, seriously. I know it's weird, but it's true. It's where that whole area of the body just starts going, hey, there's something wrong here. And then you got to go, because a buddy of mine, he's like, I can't get boners. 3 weeks later, he goes to the doctor. He's got pancreatic cancer. I'm like, well, that's probably why you can't get boners.
Jesus
you got pancreatic
Christ.
cancer. Yeah, seriously. Not crazy.
Holy shit.
There you go. Anyway, I feel like we've done some good work here today, boys. Thanks for doing this.
That was informative.
It really was, wasn't it?
I liked how we wrapped that up.
Yeah, we did. Little men's health.
I'm
Little
going to go
people's
wipe
health.
my ass now, finally.
Not too much.
I'm not going to dig as much as I normally do.
I'm going to be more.
I'm a bit of a digger.
Yeah. I'm a digit. I'm the digit guy.
You're not going to rummage around back there for all the
digos? I get a digit in there too.
Yeah, like we're going to get in there a bit. Yeah.
You get a digit in the butt piece?
A little bit.
I'm a digger. Yeah.
You make sure the entrance to the cave is clean? Is that
like a fingernail's worth, maybe.
You use toilet paper still?
Oh no, I'm a fist in there.
What's that? Did you say do I use toilet paper still? No. No.
I get a fist.
I get a fist.
The king is
an 87
Nothing
Chevy.
wrong with my anus.
No,
I had a buddy who we were in radio. This is 100 years ago. His name is Todd. And
what's his last name?
He's sitting Hancock. He was sitting there like this, doing this.
I know Hancock.
Like, yeah. Todd. I'm like, Todd, what's going on? What's going on? He goes, I had to go to the doctor. Because I don't really want to talk about it. So I got it out of him about an hour later. We were in the back doing prep.
You're the worst at that, by the way. Everybody that's like, you go to Lochlin, don't tell him anything ever, and never assume anything either. Never say something around him, assume that it's a sensitive story, and he won't tell anybody, because this is what happens. Continue. I'm interested.
So he had a bleeding anus for like 2 months, 3 months. It was constantly leaking into his shorts, everything. And he's like patting it up, and finally went to the doctor. And the doctor cut out, I'd never heard of this, cut the hemorrhoid off.
Yeah, they cauterized them. They cut
and
them
then
and burn
cauterized his ring.
The burning ring of fire.
His anus?
I've heard of hemorrhoids. I get them. I get travel roids every time I travel. I think it's the flight. I think it's the air pressure or something. Something happens.
You try to shit on the
travel.
plane.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
One off in the lab.
No, there's like pressure.
I don't do that anymore.
Like plane shits. Have you ever had to take a shit after you got off the plane where it's like, I can't shit, but I feel like I'm going to shit my pants, but I still can't shit? That's a pressure issue. So you get pressure issues when you get up.
You get pressure
issues. Yeah. I get travel. I call them travel roids. When I travel, I take Prep H with me, which is a fucking great product, by the way.
Were you?
You can get
But I
Prep
didn't
wipes,
know-
by the way.
I'd never heard of anybody cutting a hemorrhoid off. Like the doctor was like, no,
That's how
I
they
got to
do it.
remove that. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Can you imagine the position you need to get into to get that, make that accessible?
I don't even know. Like, do you bend like if that's happening, are you helping the doctor by spreading your
Spreading
cheeks? Is that,
You're going to have
or are you on your side?
Like I got
Like,
I got
are you-
lots of muscle there.
They probably
But
have
you've
like
had
a floor jack,
colonoscopy, right?
They have
Where
like
you're
a
on your
floor jack.
side. You got to lay on your side,
yet.
and you get the thing, and then you
gotta
get
get
knees
that
up
this
to your
year.
chest, and then they do the colonoscopy. You're usually out for it. But is it the same for hemorrhoids? Is that what I got to call a fucking butt doctor and figure
They
this
gotta
out?
have like one of those spreaders, right? Like those
I didn't
Oh yeah,
spreader.
forceps.
I didn't ask
forceps things. Yeah.
Todd
It's the same
how
thing
they
they
did
use
it,
for
but now
people's
thinking
chest cavities when they do open heart surgery.
down.
They do that. to
downward
open up
dog.
They do the same thing for assholes. They
Yeah.
stick it in the bung piece and then open it right up. Yeah, probably.
I just can't wrap my head around somebody taking whatever it was, a pair of scissors, and firing off.
I doubt it was scissors.
Kitchen scissors.
Come to think of it, when Lochlin came to
School
visit us
scissors.
in Toronto, he didn't sit a lot. Now
No,
that I
he
think
stood
of it,
and rocked
he
a lot,
stood the
yeah.
most of that
I
trip.
think he taught
for
handcuffs.
sure had 100%. If I travel, there is an 85% chance I'll get travel roids. I don't know what it is. If you see me in a hot tub, you
Fascinating.
know what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, if you see him in a hot tub and he's not in a 250-kilometer radius of his house, don't get in that hot tub.
Oh man, I look for a hot tub right away. Every time we travel, I'm like, "Is there a hot tub in here?" Because I need.
Are the
to
jets
soak my
on?
bum.
Turn the jets all the way up, please.
Do you lean in where you're the other guests, where you lean in and you're like, this feels great on my hemorrhoids?
Yeah, I don't do it with other
Can
guests.
I have a
but if
cube
I'm
of your
traveling
ice
with
from your
somebody,
drink?
They know I'm in the hot tub because of roids.
I like the
The guy look at you and he's like,
juxtaposition.
hey, you travel roids, huh? Yep.
The
got
best hot tubs are the saltwater ones. If you get into saltwater, it just cures things up nicer.
All right.
Dries it up better.
Yeah, all right. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for your stories. You know what? I somehow knew when we talked about the butt doctor, which I wanted it to be like an
Informative.
educational piece for
Yeah.
people, informative. I knew
learned
we would
something.
go down a rabbit hole of Lachlan's asshole. I knew it. I just knew it. I just knew it had to happen.
You
Anyway,
know what's never been on my anus? Scissors.
yeah,
I'll tell you that.
congratulations.
Good for
You're
you.
welcome, Todd.
With apologies to Todd, that's the show, folks.
Yeah. just added a guy we work
Somebody
with for
knows
his
who
bleeding
Todd
anus.
is and is going to send this to him. He was on the Seafox for 100 years.
Dude, he works with us. He does a podcast with the network. He does. He's gonna hear
He's
it.
got a really good podcast, actually.
Great podcast. Yeah. A lot of rock and roll stuff.
On the
Anyway,
network.
He teaches a lot of broadcast students out of BCIT in Vancouver.
Yeah,
Somebody
he
is going to, one of his students is going to see this and go, hey, Professor Hancock, I heard about your scissors on your ass. You want to fill us in? Kitchen
go.
scissors on your anus.
what a
Slicing and dicing.
That's a band name, by the way.
Thanks for doing this. It's Lochlin Cross, 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton, at Lochlin Cross on Twitter. Great to see you. 957cruisefm.ca. That is Ryan Lindley from the Lynn's Report. And you can download, subscribe that wherever you get your fine podcasts as well. Great to see you, buddy.
See you tomorrow.
You got it, hot dog.
Gonna go
Talk
wipe
to you
it.
soon.
See you
Yeah,
later.
no, not too hard. Remember, not too aggressive.
Promise.
Words to live by, really. Don't be too aggressive with your anus. The anus thrives on neglect. Remember that. Words to live by. I'm going to get a bumper sticker, maybe even a shirt made. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you all being here. And we'll be back again tomorrow, probably around 3, 4 o'clock. Not too sure, but we'll let you know. Follow us at Dean Blundell on Twitter, at it's Dean Blundell, dblundell.net as well. And go to deanblundell.com. Sign up for our newsletter. You can get all this stuff sent to you, so you don't even have to move. You don't have to do anything. We'll just boom right there. And we don't spam you because we're nice people. Sign up for a newsletter there. And go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please, if you can, hit the subscribe button. Say nice things. We really appreciate it, because we wouldn't be here without you. So we really appreciate everything that you do for us. Always, not just the reading, but the reviewing, not just the listening at deanblundell.com. And of course, you can get everything we do, Apple, Google, Spotify, etc., as well on Twitch. You can watch this on YouTube, at Dean Blundell Show on YouTube, and Twitch, Dean Blundell TV. Thanks to our sponsors and friends over at Cantork. Listen, Colin and his gang are the best. Seriously. Young go-getters that brought all their manufacturing back to Canada recently over the past couple of years. CanTorque makes rugged, hard-working, beautiful torque wrenches. Canada's leading industrial tool experts, offering you the very best in sales, service, rentals, calibration, maintenance, and custom fabrication of industrial torque tools, no matter the scale of your bolting project. Loosening, fastening, they've got your solution. They make it from scratch. Good Canadian people do it in Edmonton, Alberta. Listen, support Canadian products, support Canadian manufacturing. If you have an assembly tool issue, you need an industrial torque tool to loosen or fasten, and there's no solution in the industry, or yours just doesn't cut it, call Colin, email him, go to cantorque.com, learn more, click info, super simple. Again, cantorque.com. And thanks to Ed at Ed's Fine Imports, his Gitch, they're on me. They can be on you too. Great Christmas gift. It's like the one thing, that's all I got for my kids, right? Boys. I got 3 boys. So I just got them all Gitch. Tons and tons and tons and tons of Gitch. And they fucking love it. Love it. There's like walking around in this unbelievable Gitch pouch in the front, super breathable, super fucking incredibly soft fabric. You got the waistband that never quits too. Go to Ed's Fine Imports, Canadian made underwear, Gitch at edsfineimports.com. Gitch 3 is your promo code. Order 3 pairs or more, and you'll get a 4th one for free with that promo code Gitch 3. So, you know, I've already discounted your shopping. You're going to get 15% off when you give him your email address. He doesn't spam either. And then you're going to get a free pair of underwear when you order 3 or more. The world's best luxury underwear, made in Canada by Canadians for Canadians. Go to edsfineimports.com. Order online, massive clothing store for men and boys, edsfineimports.com. And not done there. Huge thanks to our friends over at kivlaw.ca. Kivlaw, defense attorneys in Southern Ontario that really, really, really actually care about you as an individual and what you're going through, and they'll make sure they hold your hand through the process and provide you the information and the outs that you need to be able to get through your legal issue. Listen, these guys don't tell you what you need to do. Don't tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what you need to do, and then they go and do it for you and with you. You need a partner in the legal process. Defense attorneys, hard to find really, really good ones. And you can trust Rob because I trust him, and you can trust him too, and his entire crew down at Kivlaw Defense Attorneys. And if you're going through a legal issue, you got no representation, or maybe yours is crap and you don't believe him, he's not doing the stuff, she's not doing the stuff, get a hold of my friend Rob. Email address, robert@kivlaw.ca. Check him out today. Say hi. He will help you. That is what they do at kivlaw.ca. That's it for us. Have a great day. See you tomorrow between 3 and 4. Be nice to each other. Take it easy. Someone give Kanye some meds. Bye.